Ever since I could remember, I'd been told I was a fake. Smile at my brother, and he'd sneer and call me a social climber. Win a prestigious piano gold medal, and my parents didn't celebrate. They had the Steinway smashed to pieces, telling me I was drinking the blood of their real daughter. The entire family lived in constant vigilance, terrified of being kind to me, afraid an ounce of warmth would whet my appetite and make me challenge the rightful heiress. So when the real daughter, Serafina, finally returned, I was the one who asked to leave, saying I wanted to find my biological parents. But they blocked me at every turn, promising I could stay as their daughter and sister if I kept my head down and knew my place. I was stupid enough to believe them. Then came a mock exam. Serafina failed. She cried, saying she'd never be as good as me, then staged a suicide attempt by nicking her wrist. In retaliation, they reported me for cheating on the SATs and orchestrated my stay in a correctional facility, calling it the price for occupying a throne that wasn't mine. I endured every slander and cold shoulder in silence, thinking I was atoning. The sky was a bruised gray the day I walked out, the wind a serrated blade cutting to the bone. The guard handed me a thin, worn coat. Ren Fairmont, you're free. Don't be stupid. He glanced at my clenched sleeves. Tell your family to get you a therapist. My eyes were hollow. I nodded, pulling my sleeves down to hide the scars beneath. I'd served my time, paid my debt. Now I could find my real family. I hadn't walked 10 yards when a black Rolls Royce pulled up, hazard lights blinking. The window slid down, revealing Rowan Fairmont, Serafina's loving older brother, his gaze cold and clinical, just as I remembered. Ren, get in. We're going home. I ignored him, walking toward the bus stop. Just as I reached the steps, a hand clamped onto my shoulder with bruising force. I was yanked back, my spine slamming into the car's icy metal. What are you doing? Throwing a tantrum like Serafina used to? Trying to make us feel guilty? Rowan loomed over me. Did 2 years in a cell teach you nothing but theatrics? Since going to prison, my brain felt like rusted clockwork. Slow, heavy, grinding. I stared blankly, taking time to process his words. Finally, I shook my head, pulling a frayed, folded paper from my pocket. No, Serafina came to see me. She said she found my real parents. The address is here. I'm going home. He froze for a split second, then his face darkened with fury. He snatched the paper, ripped it into a dozen pieces, and tossed them into the wet highway traffic. Stop this madness, he growled, grabbing my arm. Mom and Dad are waiting. I let out a sharp scream, wrenching myself free with unexpected strength, then bolted into the road. Home! I have to go home! I dropped to my knees on the freezing asphalt, frantically clawing at the swirling paper scraps. Tires screeched, horns blared. Are you trying to get killed? A driver yelled. Rowan's face went ashen. He lunged forward, shielding me with his body, yelling apologies to the angry drivers before dragging me back to the shoulder. Ren, if you want to die, do it somewhere I don't have to watch. Using cheap tricks for attention. The family wasted years raising you. I stared up at him, confused. Then, when Serafina cut her wrists, was she just doing it for attention too? Rowan went rigid, jaw locked, flinching for the first time in my life. He couldn't meet my eyes. There it was. Even he knew. Serafina's name had been a crown of thorns for as long as I could remember. I was the fake, the parasite, the intruder. That's why my mother fired the nanny who served me dessert first. Why my father smashed my piano. Why Rowan drowned the stray puppy I rescued. They used every moment to prove they'd never let their shining pearl suffer a slight because of me. The scale of their hearts was always tipped in her favor, but I didn't get it. If she had all the love, if the world was served to her on a silver platter, why did she bleed just because I beat her on a practice test? Serafina, what were you so afraid of? Rowan rubbed his temples, frustration radiating off him. You know Serafina isn't like you. She grew up suffering, didn't even finish school. You had every resource, every elite tutor. You had to be number one, had to crush her. You knew it would trigger her. I barely heard him. I was shivering, trying to piece together the sodden paper scraps in my hand.